Hello everybody and welcome back to Thrash Reviews, where yours truly, Thrash Maniac 99, continues to review upcoming hard rock and heavy metal albums in the calendar year of 2016. And we continue today with a brand new album from the band Holy Grail. And this has been one that I've seen get reviewed quite a good bit from other people. And the album's called Times of Pride and Peril. This is honestly the first time I've ever listened to Holy Grail, but from what I've heard of this band, they're a power metal band with a bit of a thrash metal influence, and I thought to myself, and they're also a new band on the horizon at the moment. And from what I heard about them, not from what I heard about them, but when I heard that their music is power metal with a thrash influence, I thought, maybe these guys are kind of going to be like a modern-day Dragon Force, or they're going to try to create something unique, which power metal meets thrash is really interesting because of the fast intensity of the speed as well as the operatic vocals. So I thought, well, this could be an interesting listen. But we're going to get into the review right now. The opening track, Crystal King, really has a lot of that kind of speed metal, thrash metal impulses put into their power metal sound, and this track certainly got kind of the ball rolling for the beginning of the record. This song was very, very good. I really, really enjoyed the dynamics behind it. The vocals were really solid. In fact, that was one of the big strengths of this album, was the vocals. Like, the singer has a good voice to him that probably still could use a little bit more range, like go lower at times, kind of do both low and highs. That's the kind of style of singing I like to hear, is singers that can try to do both and really make it work. But this song was still a hell of an opening track for this album. The next track I want to talk about is Sudden Death. And this was probably one of the most, if not the most, thrashy song on the album. And when it comes to thrashy tracks, I really like them, and I really enjoyed this song a whole lot. The guitar playing was top-notch. The guitar solos on this song were well executed. And of course, the vocals were very high up there and really solid in that department. The next track I want to talk about is No More Heroes, which is kind of an interesting kind of lyrical song, all about like how this world doesn't need many heroes, we just need to be ourselves instead of being something that we're not. And songs along those lines are sort of fitting for the power metal subgenre. However, with Holy Grail doing it in their more thrashier influenced style, and even a bit of traditional heavy metal, sort of like if you were listening to like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden to some degrees. This track kind of harkened back a little bit to that. For me personally, it kind of reminded me if I was listening to like a fast Judas Priest song, if I could really describe it. And then the final track I want to talk about is the closing track, Black Lotus, which was the longest track of the album at nearly 10 minutes. And this song was excellent. This was an excellent track, really well put together, kind of proggy a little bit, considering that the structuring wasn't very typical of the other songs on the record. And of course, it was another thrashy-oriented tune with some mid-tempo, slower tempo parts. The vocals, again, were very good. And at the end, the singer kind of went for a little bit of like the metalcore vocal style, or kind of just a gruff vocal style. And it was really interesting to see that he was able to pull that off at the very closing moments of this particular song. And certainly helped to make that song a little more unique. And actually, of course, this is what I thought was the best song on this record. But overall, this record had its moments, those tracks I was talking about, but everything else was either just decent or just there. Like, to me, Holy Grail is definitely a band that still has they have a lot of potential for sure. However, this album kind of, aside from those 4 tracks, kind of flopped a little bit in terms of a couple of certain tracks. You know, tracks such as Waste Them All Away and Descent into the Maelstrom were 2 tracks that I felt just were not that great. The other tracks on the album, such as, you know, Psycho Macheza, or I'm pretty sure I'm destroying that, and I'm sorry, but certain words I just can't say or pronounce. But tracks like that, they were good, but they just weren't like 100% sold to me, if I could create a phrase in that way. But this album, to me, aside from 4 awesome songs and 4 decent tracks and then 2 tracks that were just there, this album wasn't bad. It was more so average. So I'm probably going to give this album a 74 out of 100. Not a bad record. In fact, like I said, the 4 tracks certainly were the saviors of this record. However, I do think that this band does have a lot of potential for the future, and I think that their next record could be where they start really making some noise in the underground metal scene. So yeah, so far this is the worst album of the year so far, but there's going to be a lot more coming out that I'm going to examine, and we'll find out if any can somehow be worse than this. But this album wasn't bad, it was just average to me. But that's just my opinion, of course. But what did you guys think of Times of Pride and Peril by Holy Grail? Leave a comment down below, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Peace out, and have a good day.